Tonight we're discussing the state of housing in the city of Baton Rouge and East Baton Rouge Parish. We have housing experts who are going to talk about housing in our community, because we know that affordable, excellent housing is certainly key to having thriving and prosperous communities, and it's really fundamental for all families.
Your administration has made some efforts in this area. Describe those for us.
Well, of course, we've worked through our Office of Community Development to provide access to housing for many individuals during the COVID. As we've dealt with the pandemic, we've offered rental assistance, but we want to talk about the future of housing here in this discussion tonight and what it looks like for our city and for our parish.
We're joining a key group of city and state leaders to discuss not only the housing challenges facing East Baton Rouge Parish, but particularly the solutions that are ahead of us in this kind of changing time where we've got new resources coming into the city.
Let's talk about both the challenges and the solutions. First of all, what are the challenges in East Baton Rouge Parish?
A group of community partners came together to really lead a resident and community-led housing study process that unearthed things that we probably already knew, but now have really specific data on the neighborhoods that are struggling, the impacts of a lack of housing, quality housing, affordable housing on people's health, on public safety, on blight, mental health, these sorts of social issues that we call the social determinants of health. So I think it's brought new light to our entire community and reinvigorated people in Mayor President Broom's vision for quality neighborhoods, invested neighborhoods for those that have been forgotten and left behind.
And what about the potential solutions as you see them?
That's where we're really excited. Mayor President Broom is always solution-driven, solution-led. So we're looking to these key leaders and to community partners to come together with us to create a framework. The study gave to our office a set of preliminary recommendations about how to address blight and title clearance and adding more units and more affordability and revitalizing neighborhoods. So we're looking to create implementation plans and ask every partner that joins us here this evening to be a part of that solution, to be a part of our framework.
For the Office of Community Development, we are responsible for the redevelopment arm of the community for the mayor's office. So we're responsible for housing and public safety and also public service activities. And we're also the financial purse string, if you will, for the mayor's office.
What is your message here today?
The message today is that we really all just need to focus on creating solutions for affordable housing and ways that we can integrate and collaborate together and make solutions better so that we can create sustainable communities.
We're the East Baton Rouge Parish Housing Authority, where I serve as the CEO. We serve the capital area parish, including the city of Plaquemine, as well as the entire East Baton Rouge Parish area.
Tell us about the units that you have available. How many are they, and describe them for us?
Sure. Currently, we have a portfolio of 1,300 affordable homes throughout the parish. That's on our affordable housing side, as well as our tax credit units and market rate units as well. And so on the housing choice side, we serve over 5,000 families that have the opportunity to choose where they want to live throughout the various parishes.
Tell us about your waiting list and what the potential is for additional housing.
We always have a waiting list. Unfortunately, everything is a function of cost. And so usually our waiting list range in the thousands. And the only way we're able to actually move people off the waiting list is if they return their voucher, which we always recommend and encourage. We call it moving up and out, because when our families return their vouchers, we get a twofer, because not only the most time are they moving to the home ownership, but they're also providing an opportunity for the next family up to receive that temporary assistance.
I work for Enterprise Community Partners. We are a national nonprofit organization that invests in affordable housing and supports organizations that develop affordable housing.
Tell us a little bit about what your organization is doing in East Baton Rouge Parish.
So we are working with several nonprofits in the area that work to develop affordable housing and provide services to residents of affordable housing. And we also work with city and state government that run affordable housing programs to help them run their affordable housing programs more effectively, and also leverage private sector resources to match with the federal, city, and state resources.
Now, there is a shortage of affordable housing in East Baton Rouge Parish. Tell us, what do you see as some potential solutions?
Yeah, there certainly is a shortage, and East Baton Rouge Parish isn't alone. There's a shortage really across the country, and I think the most effective solutions are those that really leverage and concentrate resources. So I think ideally East Baton Rouge Parish would identify a set of priorities and use their resources, match the parish and state resources, and set clear priorities and try to leverage private sector resources so that philanthropy and banks and others can invest alongside the parish and the state to try to work together to create more affordable housing, and also use their ability to set policy to create more affordable housing that way. So not just in investment, but also new policies that might create affordable housing.
Louisiana Housing Corporation, we have a mission to deliver safe, affordable, energy-efficient housing. The way we do that is in a very multifaceted way. We have over 23 programs that deliver safe, energy, affordable housing. And so we have a statewide footprint. About 150 employees at the Louisiana Housing Corporation that work to deliver that mission each and every day.
Talk a little bit about the housing shortage, and not only in East Baton Rouge Parish, but throughout the state, and some of the things that your organization is doing to deal with that.
Yeah, we do. We have a housing crisis here in Louisiana that I don't think everyone is aware of, and that's been exacerbated by the pandemic, obviously. And so we're working very diligently to use our dollars that we've received through the pandemic to help address that housing crisis need. But even more than that, making sure that our programs through our low-income tax credit programs are helping to drive more affordable housing on the multifamily side, but also on our single-family side, helping folks be able to get into homes, affordable homes that work toward low and moderate income.
Hi, I'm Alfredo Cruz with the Housing First Alliance of the Capital Area, and so pleased that we finally are able to share the completion of this market segmentation study with the community and the findings, more importantly, of how we move forward to solve for affordable housing crisis that we're in.
Tell us about the study. What did you study, and what were the results?
Well, for a period of about 12 months, the University of North Carolina, Greensboro Center for Housing and Community Studies spent some time looking at a lot of data of how we got here. Data pertaining to neighborhoods, the life of a lot of different housing stock that we have, really finding disparities across our entire community, and ultimately looking at how we got to this housing crisis. It's been decades and decades of issues that have led us here. And it's important to look at those causes so that we can figure out what are the strategies that we can use to improve our housing conditions and get out of this crisis.
Housing is an issue that touches all of our lives. Neighborhoods are the context in which we grow up. You remember the neighborhood that you grew up in. You talk about it often. Neighborhoods, that's where we get our education, we seek employment, and we raise our families. We know our housing, health, and safety are all linked because research shows that increasing home ownership in Baton Rouge neighborhoods can also decrease violent crime. A community can only be great when every neighborhood is prosperous, and that begins with healthy, quality housing. There's strong evidence characterizing housing's relationship to health and housing stability, quality, safety, and affordability all affect health outcomes, as do physical and social characteristics of neighborhoods. The number of community members and partners in the room and the community members joining us online via Facebook is all proof that so many are willing to join our office's efforts to change that. Now, take a moment to know that while we all glean from our incredible group of change agents and panelists we have here tonight, each of us must contribute to the collaboration, creative ideas, and long-term commitment to build a parish with affordable housing, not just for some, but for all, for everyone. And that's why we've invited all of you here this afternoon. Before you is my executive summary of the East Baton Rouge Parish Housing Study, produced by the University of Greensboro Center for Housing and Community Studies. This report was developed in partnership with a group of stakeholders that we have coined the Housing First Alliance. This report and the collaboration of the Housing First Alliance is an evolving project that I committed to lifting up in partnership with our Office of Community Development, Mid-City Redevelopment Alliance, Build Baton Rouge, and Healthy BR. The results of this study help us understand where the greatest needs are, the impacts of housing insecurity on families, the source of disparities in home ownership rates, and the influence neighborhoods have on the health, safety, and well-being of residents. Now, of course, if you've been around me for any time, or people who have worked in my office will tell you that I just don't like to bring people together to just complain. I'm all about results, outcomes, and solutions. And I believe you all in the room here are today. I believe in champion solutions. And this study just doesn't tell us what needs to be fixed. It also gives us 10 concrete recommendations for creating safe, healthy neighborhoods. So how are we going to start implementing those solutions? I trust that you can agree that doing the work is never as simple as just saying we need a certain number of housing units. Here's how we all are going to make this a reality. Starting with today's conversation, we're embarking on Baton Rouge's first safe, hopeful, healthy housing and neighborhood revitalization planning process. Initial conversations with partners and research of best practices from cities like Washington, D.C. indicate we're going to need at least $20 million housing funds needed to begin to truly change how we change our neighborhoods, how our neighborhoods look rather, and feel safe in our neighborhoods, and also prioritize sustainable housing for those who are most vulnerable. Our investment has started with strengthening our human capital with strategic thought leaders that are knowledgeable of best practices and focused on doing the work to move the needle of progress. I'm sure Tasha Saunders, our Director of the Office of Community Development, will speak more about that. We've also brought on our first Director of Community Revitalization to oversee initiatives like the Resident Leader Academy, which works with residents in disinvested neighborhoods to form civic associations and address blight and other issues. Marley is the person who has assumed that role, Marley Pittman, and I will tell you Marley's job is to attack the issues at a neighborhood level that are holding this community back. Finally, I want to thank our panelists for their commitment to East Baton Rouge Parish in their respective capacities, as well as our Office of Community Development that is working double time to build effective systems and implement new strategies simultaneously, like distributing over $45 million in rental assistance in less than a year. As always, government cannot do this alone. We need people from the community at the table to help us bring the solutions to pass. And I look forward to having each and every one of you as partners in our housing efforts as we move forward. I look forward to the collaboration with all of you. Thank you all so much for being here tonight. And as I say, let's do this.
Thank you, Mayor Broome. We're excited, as she mentioned, to be here to discuss the state of housing in East Baton Rouge Parish. We have some amazing panelists here with us today that is going to discuss some of this info. I think I probably need to be a little louder. Here we go. So, of course, I'll start off to my left, Ms. Tasha Saunders. our Director of the Office of Community Development and Urban Planning, Tasha. Joshua Hollins, who is the new Executive Director at the Louisiana Housing Corporation. And then to my right, we have Michelle Wheaton, who is with Enterprise Community Partners. She's the Vice President there. And Mr. Jay Daniels, who is the East Baton Rouge Parish Housing Authority CEO. Let's give it up for our panelists. So we will dive right in. So panelists, first, let's talk a little bit about the work that you do and let us know about your organization's work in East Baton Rouge Parish or statewide. And we'll start with Jay Daniels.
I'm Jay Daniels. I'm the CEO of the East Baton Rouge Parish Housing Authority, and I have the opportunity to serve over 13,000 souls across East Baton Rouge Parish, as well as the city of Plaquemine. Altogether, we own and operate over 1,200 units throughout the capital region. That's also through our nonprofit development arm, which is Partner Southeast, and I see members of our team back over there in the corner. And so we normally invest $30 million annually within the parish, and that's between 1,200 landlords, and that's to support the housing of over 5,000 families throughout the area. As I look across today, I see many of our partners. Obviously, Mayor Broom is in support of everything that we do, but if you look at Tasha Saunders over there on the corner, Mr. Joshua Hollins representing LAC, Tasha with OCD, Michelle Wheaton, which is the financial person at Enterprise Community Partners. I think we have a team that can really push housing forward. And so we are the partnership that allows that to happen. And so as we talk today, we talk about the deployment of capital, and that's what we do at the Housing Authority, because our main focus is to combat poverty. And the way we do at the Housing Authority, we leverage our housing opportunities to create greater outcomes in education, economic opportunities, and health and wellness. And those of you who have seen me get up and talk before, that is my stump speech. Because again, as we try to combat poverty, we have to have our partners related to education. We have to have our partners related to economic opportunity and job creation. And we have to be physically and mentally healthy. And that is our goal. And that is how we reach back. And that's how we lift up. So today you'll hear some innovative ways on the finance side, of our partnership side, that allows us to do that. One thing I want to talk about, which is a clear representation of our partnership, is the Be Our Choice Transformation Plan. Back in 2018, this city came together, starting back in 2013, came up with a plan and said in the future, we're going to apply to HUD for a $30 million grant. We were successful in that. Over 60 of our community partners came together and said, you know what, we want to transform this area in North Baton Rouge. And so HUD came down, they saw our application, and they were impressed. Our mayor stayed the entire day. They said that had never happened. And that showed and demonstrated a commitment that not only the mayor, but the city has to the transformation of this city. And we were able to secure that grant. That grant, $30 million grant, will be leveraged up to $300 million here, invested in this city. So that's just one little sample, an example of what we can do from a community-driven solution that allows our community and our families to thrive. And so I'm excited about this panel. I'm excited about the individuals. I'm excited about all the innovative things we're going to talk about today. But that's my stump speech, and I look forward to having some community-driven solutions. Thank you.
So I'm Michelle Wheaton with Enterprise, is that good? Enterprise Community Partners. We're a national nonprofit affordable housing organization. Our mission is really to increase the supply of affordable housing, promote racial equity, and advance resilience and upward mobility. And I have the pleasure of overseeing our work in Louisiana, Mississippi, and Texas. And I will confess I'm the out-of-towner of this group up here. So I'm based in New Orleans, but I do oversee our work also in Baton Rouge. And over the years, I've been in Louisiana for 16 years now, almost 17 years. And we have worked with several Baton Rouge organizations, Mid-City Redevelopment Alliance, Urban Restoration Enhancement Corporation, Habitat for Humanity, the Arc of Greater Baton Rouge, Rebuilding Together, and then two larger organizations that have done a lot of work in Baton Rouge, Gulf Coast Housing Partnership, Renaissance Neighborhood Development Corporation, and also Jay's organization. So we provide a lot of capacity building support and technical assistance to nonprofits, and also finance and equity to for-profit developers. We've invested in several multifamily properties in the Baton Rouge area. We've worked with the Louisiana Housing Corporation and the State Office of Community Development to help them incorporate resilience into their affordable housing programs, which really works to minimize displacement of families, as you all have experienced through hurricanes and floods when climate disasters occur. And we also have a program to make information and resources available to houses of worship that may have underutilized or excess property that they're interested in using to contribute to affordable housing. So look forward to the discussion tonight.
I think I'm the newest up here. Today marks day 34 of my tenure as the new Executive Director of the Louisiana Housing Corporation. But I couldn't be more excited. The mission of the Louisiana Housing Corporation to provide safe, affordable, energy-efficient housing is one that's critical to our state, but even as we stand here tonight, is critical to our city and parish. That is a multifaceted look for us in terms of how we deliver our mission. We have over 23 housing programs that have program dollars of about $1.7 billion that reach every corner of our state, urban, rural, to deliver safe, affordable, energy-efficient housing. And so tonight I'm excited to be here because exactly what Jay said tonight means partnership. I can look at every panelist that's up here and point to a level of partnership that we have with each of them to be able to deliver the work that LHC does. We deploy resources, but it takes our partners in the municipal level, it takes our partners in the private sector like Michelle to be able to make those dollars, make those resources actually come to life and mean a roof over someone's head, an increase in their quality of life, and ultimately better our city and parish and the community that we live in. I'm a native of Baton Rouge, so this is very near and dear to my heart. I do want to thank Mayor Broom for bringing this together tonight. We have a number of things that's online here in the city parish. You heard Jay talk about the project over in Ardendale. That was a significant investment from the Louisiana Housing Corporation along with the Office of Community Development here in the parish. When you look at the new development happening on Howell Place, that's the Louisiana Housing Corporation. When you look at the development coming up over on the Spanish Town area, we're really excited about that project, Louisiana Housing Corporation. So our footprint is touching this parish, but we have a long way to go. When you look at the number of folks that are looking for housing, when you look at the way in which our housing crisis was exacerbated by the pandemic, we have a long way to go, and we're looking forward to the partnership, but we're looking forward to the inclusion of you there in the room tonight. As you know, and we'll talk about as we go, Enterprise, the city parish, and LHC just partnered to be able to put out a NOFA on the street for a small developer program, Baton Rouge Rebuilds. And we're excited about that because it's allowing for small developers to get involved, to be able to rebuild and rehab in the community that they know, the community that they live in, and ultimately the community that they're invested in and want to see to thrive. And so we're excited to be here tonight to see what LHC can do to further our partnership, but also tell you about the great things that are happening at the Louisiana Housing Corporation. So thank you for having us tonight.
Thank you.
My name is Tasha Saunders, and I'm the Director of Community and Urban Development for the Mayor's Office of Community Development. And the first and primary role of the Office of Community Development is to carry out the Mayor's strategic vision for various initiatives that she has specifically related to housing and community improvement. And so we do that through a number of ways. We partner with various agencies, both public and private, as Joshua and Jay stated. We get partnered with them on all of the activities that they just mentioned. And we also have dollars that are supplementing those housing developments. Under the Mayor's administration, we have successfully completed almost 100 affordable housing units since 2016. And so I think that now that we are on this path of collaboration, partnership, it's important that we all come together and start to put together our resources rather than operating in silos. And I think we can make bigger impacts in the communities. And so we're very excited to partner with everyone.
Tell us, what do you see as possible solutions?
I see, like I said, cross collaboration between agencies, also support from our local government as well as the federal government, and also grassroots organizations like community-based organizations like nonprofits and agencies that are already doing this work. All of us collaborating and really coming together with solutions instead of everybody operating in their own silos. We can join together and make a bigger impact.
Housing shortages not only throughout Louisiana but nationwide. What's some communities done that have been creative in this area?
I think a lot of communities have gone to the policy side where they have increased zoning so that more residential units and different types of units can be constructed, and also the number of units that can be constructed. A lot of agencies have also gone to more public-private partnerships where they're leveraging private dollars with jurisdictional dollars to create more affordable housing solutions.
What's your reaction to everything that you've seen and heard here tonight, the energy in the room?
I'm very excited. I hope that this momentum keeps going so that we can all really just come together and create these sustainable solutions, because that's the only way that we're all going to make it is through partnership.
What is the outlook for building more units in East Baton Rouge Parish in the short term and the long term?
I think in the short term is always a challenge because everything is a function of cost. And so that's when we look to our federal, state, and local resources to develop and to supplement some of the costs and the funding related to our building of our new communities. Long term, I think if we come up with some innovative solutions related to funding, I think we'll be able to make some huge strides in the delivery of affordable housing.
What would you like to see happen as an outcome of this effort to improve housing availability for people?
Collaboration between the different stakeholders, understanding that it takes a strategic planning process to provide proper access to capital that allows us to deliver more affordable units.
I'm really impressed with the amount of research and data and the energy that's gone into identifying the problems and the sort of creative interest in identifying solutions. And I'm really optimistic about the people coming together and working together to come up with solutions.
How can people access your services?
LHC.la.gov, 763-8700, 225-763-8700. Visit us on our website. You can find us to see where we have affordable housing available across the state of Louisiana, but you also learn more about our programs and what we do to service the people of Louisiana.
What is your message here tonight?
My message here tonight is that we are diligent partners with East Baton Rouge Parish. We obviously have a housing need across the state. And across the city and the parish, and we're working to address that through the deployment of our funds, but also partnering with the city to leverage funds to make sure that we answer the need to not only provide housing, but quality of life developments that really push the city and our constituents forward. So,
can you think of any examples of cities that have been able to be successful in this area?
There are so many cities who are doing creative things, but Baton Rouge is really on the forefront of some of this community-led work, this resident-driven work. Our Resident Leader Academy is training leaders to do community projects that they design, that they understand is the most important thing that their neighborhood needs, and we're investing resources in that. And that's a nationally recognized model. But still, there are cities who are implementing purpose-built communities. NeighborWorks America is doing some really great community engagement and community building work. And National League of Cities is even providing to us best practices on this work.
I think it's excellent. I think it's a first step of really having a discussion, and secondly, putting the pen to the pad, creating those partnerships that allows us access to capital, which we truly need in order to deliver housing.
I am so kind of empowered and invigorated by all of the different partners who are so excited to join us in this work. We heard so many creative solutions for how to bring private dollars, how to expand the network of housing, and how to bring quality, healthy, hopeful neighborhoods to every resident in Baton Rouge.
How can people get more information about this?
We really want community members, to join us in this work. If you visit safehopefulneighborhoods.com, you can learn how to get involved in trainings, sign up for cleanups, get grants and resources for your neighborhood, and be a part of the solutions we heard here today.
I think that our panel did an excellent job of really specifically talking about the issues, and we know that we have some valuable resources and knowledge that has come out of this discussion.